Hello everyone, my name is Kenton Beebe, otherwise known as North Pillar, and this is my academy. Well, Patch has been live for quite a while, and I've been playing a lot of For Honor. Sorry I've not been getting out videos to you guys. Let me know if you do want to see For Honor. I don't know, I'm almost done with the high of the new game, and I'm going back to Destiny. And I can tell you for one thing, I am rusty AF. I actually ran at someone trying to hit him with my axes and realized, oh, he has a gun and he can shoot me. So, bit of a different game, bit of a different feel. Really trying to figure out how is everything going and how I can adapt to this change. Because there's not as much sniper ammo now. There's a lot of sidearms. And yeah, so finding that spot where my auto rifle can compete is the hardest thing I'm having right now, because my auto rifle is not the two auto rifles that are now in the meta. Those two auto rifles, of course, probably well, I guess the third maybe Grim Citizen if you include that one, but Genesis Chain, very much meta, and Suros Regime. You actually see more Suros Regimes than Genesis Chains. But those are the only two viable, somewhat viable auto rifles. Everything else is still trash. But am I going to change off my Fabian strategy? No, sir, I am not. I know that recoil pattern. I know how to aim with that weapon more than any other weapon. It feels right in my hands. Even when I miss shots, I feel like I have more of a chance than any other weapon in the game, just because I play with it a lot. I might mix it up a few times if I need to use the exotic heavy or something like that, but now that Truth's been nerfed, I don't really know what an exotic heavy would be. Probably not Boltcaster or anything like that, but who knows. Anyways, what is the meta? So far, what I can see is hand cannons definitely meta, especially in those 3v3 and Rumble games. Definitely meta. Next viable weapon is scout rifles. Scout rifles are in a very good spot as well. Pulse rifles are seeing some love as well. Not so much. Auto rifles are still trash. Okay. Nothing really new there. Nothing really new breaking meta. Clever Dragon is not the dominant force it used to be, especially with if you wanted to be a laser. You only get 18 shots, which, whew, 18 shots is not a lot for that pulse rifle. So they are definitely seeing some love and attention there. Special weapons, well, sidearms. Definitely the only special weapon that gets ammo, so everyone's going to that. Sniper rifles, big spike in usage, especially Icebreaker and No Land. The No Land sidearm is strong. I just don't think it's broken. I did hear about the changes they're making to both all those kind of things. If you haven't heard, they're thinking about reducing. So when you're out with the sidearm, you lose all your ammo, but you get a small portion back, kind of like it was in year 2 and early year 3. They're kind of changing it to where you don't get to keep your ammo, but you get a small bit starting out, which I think will make this a little more balanced instead of just having infinite shotgun ammo, basically. Because face it, that's what it is. It's basically the new shotgun sidearms are, and they don't really have any way of running out. So that's that. As of preferences in types of sidearms, Wormwood definitely good. Even well, the Trespasser, of course, good. Those kind of fast firing seem to be going the way to go, but it's a sidearm. You can't really go wrong with any of them.
Heavy ammo on the way.
One thing to note, I think fusion rifles, they're There's a small amount of people use them, but they're still very viable. Yeah. Nothing too much of a change, except shotguns hardly ever see. Just because you have to be aggressive with them, and people don't like to play aggressively. Except if you're me. In which case, shoulder charge to the necks. Yeah, I think that covers all the special changes. What are viable strats, viable weapons, and 3v3 modes? Sidearms, and, well, I think I'm just going on a rant now. What about auto rifles? What if you want to be competitive like myself with an auto rifle? Even though they didn't get nearly the love they needed, what can you do with an auto rifle? How can you be competitive in this new meta? Here's the thing about auto rifles. They probably will not outgun things like sidearms in close range or hand cannons in close range. What they're going to really shine at is mid-range. Not scout rifle territory or pulse rifle territory, but right before that and right just outside of the sidearm hand cannon range. That's a very fine line where they're actually going to be the most dominant. But here's the thing. If you strafe, you can increase the gap, basically. Increase the reasonable field, reasonable range, I guess, if you were to say it in correct mathematical terms. Where if you have a good strafe, if you're using the great boots called Dune Marchers, or if you crouch strafe or any of those tactics and you know how to aim while strafing, you will be very dominant with an auto rifle. Especially if you can use cover. They say hand cannons are just playing at better cover against auto rifles because they can go into cover when they're not ready, and they can go into cover when they're waiting on their next shot to kind of readjust and realign. They can't spam as fast as, well, they can't fire nearly as fast as auto rifles. So if you go back in and out of cover with a hand cannon, you will be able to outperform an auto rifle because you have less time exposed to more damage. The same principle can actually be applied to an auto rifle. If you can get inside the person using hand cannon's head, you can basically jump in and out of cover when they can fire. Now that's a little bit hard and very tricky to do, but if you can get in the timing, in the mode, again, I've only done it a few times, and every single time it feels good, it feels crisp, because they're firing their shot or they're lining up their shot as I'm going into cover. So they miss their shot and I pop out of cover before they can get into cover, and I can shoot them and kind of play this cat and mouse game where I bait them out when they're ready to shoot, but I'm not there. They either fire the shot and have to wait, or they wait on the shot, which kind of defeats the purpose of the whole entire thing. And I'm constantly jumping or sliding out from cover. That whole entire routine helps me keep nimble and my least amount of body exposed at a certain time, allowing me to use that whole entire cover strat to my advantage. One thing you need to know is always slide in and out of cover, jump out of cover. You don't want those headshots to line up on you. That will be your downfall. As an auto rifle player, you need to land all your headshots, and you can't get headshotted in order to do well. So crouch strafing is a very viable option. I'm experimenting with a little bit.
Bravo team.
Just jumping in the air, especially with the in-air accuracy of all primaries being buffed, it's a little bit easier to engage from the air. Kudos to Bungie on that part.
New relic located.
Some things that they need to reverse or change, I'm enjoying the whole entire non-shotgun meta quite a bit. One thing I think they need to do is change transfusion back. I don't know. Maybe reverse. I guess they are planning on doing some reversal a little bit. Not completely all the way. But looks like they're giving more health, at least for a kill, which is definitely needed for transfusion and those other regeneration perks.
Guardian, stop it.
So good job to Bungie reversing that slightly. I would be happy if they reversed it completely, because I don't know. Even though Blade Dancer maybe needs a little bit of the nerf when it comes, especially in this new meta where there's nothing really to counter Blade Dancer, and Blade Dancer is a very good super to use, because close quarters shotgun is no longer there. But there is, you know what? I'd be happy if they reversed the changes completely for that part. Score is of course not fixed. They're thinking about fixing it somehow. Maybe with like a kill timer where you have to kill someone in order to have it activated. Just talk about that. What was the one thing to note? It's on the tip of my tongue. Okay, I don't know why they're not changing Night Stalker at all. To me, that seems like the leading subclass coming out of this whole entire thing, because everything else, almost every single, like, somewhat meta subclass got nerfed last go around. Transfusion for Striker. Striker was the meta kind of, besides maybe a good defender, a good breaker. Striker was a very viable option for the Titan, and it got really hurt with the transfusion perk, especially in today's meta. Now that Juggernaut's been kind of nerfed from flying, or grounded, I guess you could say. They kind of took that away, and I'm kind of sad about that. So that got nerfed. Of course, Blade Dancer got a heavy nerf with the quick draw and the Hungering Blade. So that's out of the meta now. And of course, you've got your Void Walkers. They also got a nerf. So all the contending subclasses for the meta got a big nerf, except for the biggest, probably most meta subclass, arguably arguably in post patch, but definitely now indisputably the most meta subclass. Of course, I'm talking about well, the Void Bows, the Night Stalkers. Well, they're definitely now king of the hill, without any contenders really to counter them. So, whoop-de-doo for you Night Stalkers, main Night Stalkers people, because now you're uncontested. Hoping that changes, but knowing Bungie, they will only get buffs from here on out. So Destiny 2. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. Take the good with the bad. A lot of bad. Don't completely agree with all the special changes. It's maddening, but I can handle not having shotguns as long as I take and fix sidearms, because right now, basically infinite shotgun ammo all over again with the sidearm thing. So they're supposed to be changing that. Hopefully we will see a true balance to the meta in the new patch to fix this patch. Sorry for not getting this video out sooner. Life's been life, but hopefully you will find this guide and this tutorial, this commentary on the meta informative. This is my opinion. Please mention your own opinion in the comment section. I enjoy talking to you guys. You do message me on Xbox, and I'm fine with that. But if you want more than just my opinion, maybe you want some other friends of mine to comment as well, include it in the YouTube video, please. I like my very, 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 very small community of just my friends and a few randoms, which are my friends. So, please interact with each other, interact with me, and leave a comment in the description, or just below. Down. That way. Okay. Again, my name is Kenton, and this is my Academy of the North Pillar. My name is Kenton, otherwise known as North Pillar, and this is my Academy. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
The enemy's probe is out. Shut it down.
Guardian down.
Hostile probe deactivated. There's a new relic. Go and get it.
Guardian down.
Only 5 minutes left. Enemy probe out. Disable it. You're almost there. Their probe is shut down. Good work. New relic located. Can't claim resources without force. Good work out there.